Yes, Professor Lord Mensah, Associate Professor at University of Ghana, Legon. Prof, Mahain.
I mean, I'm a chief for
Na umpombo cordia opinion. Good, but the issue with Ken Ofori Atta and Charles Adubua here and majority MPs, etu almost say, are they really the problem? See, you are free wa, see the nubenya na ho den no, you are free wa, or mine no, yes, kasam no, ebejina ye. Is that really the problem?
I mean, whether they are the problem or they are not the problem, it will be refreshing to change the face. Let me tell you, the current crop of finance ministers, they will share their history in terms of public financial management. The current minister is the most aggressive one amongst all of them in terms of how he raised our budget deficits from almost 6% to 11% within a space of 1 year budget reading. Clearly, it tells you that indeed he's an aggressive, finance minister. I'm not saying that his posture is not bad or good, but I can tell you that we can have finance. We can have finance ministers who are aggressive. That is only when you know very well that the prospect, as far as the economy is concerned, can grow. Then it means you can borrow your way through and get to that level where whatever you have borrowed, you can convert it to, production. Now, this country, if you list out what brings out the dollar into our environment, I've been listing them all through. One is the loans that we take. Two is the remittances that people do. Three is the aid and grants that we get from these Bretton Woods institutions. And then four is the production that we must do. If you do a production, it's more or less an indirect way of supplying dollar to the market. Because, for instance, if it turns up that you have reduced your importation bill by 50%, or it turns up that a mona who import here, and that is the largest of all the import bills on your economic structure, that's the who provided policies. That policy to reduce more importation by 50%. That is, in a way, you've supplied dollar in equivalent of 50% importation into the economy. Because 50% now can also the importation, it will go into the buffers of the country. And to me, the post channel over the years, and I'm sure the very saying the dynamics are the human kasapa started somewhere 2019. 2019, 2018 budget, they got 2019. You read the budget in November 2018. I did 2019. Now clearly, so share your budget deficit in the presence of the IMF. We are penetrating almost the targeted, 5% of the budget, because it's the budget deficit that brings about the financing. And say, budget deficit names one. And it means Obako borrow more. But we turn on the post channel, acquire to say, we must spend our way through. And once we spend, we can, have that economic growth. But we have been spending over the years. That's the doorstep feeling of the economy. People, among for you, I also tone it down. Now, the same finance minister, or Parliament, the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and can replace the control of our expenditure and revenue generation. And Kasebiono, representing more or less an IMF in disguise in our environment. The back of him, Revi and Tahomayano. Oko two, sir, Oko Bisa Parliament permission, Parliament, to Sir Act in 20 Now, if you COVID, Bibia near the other spending a election, Nanga was expecting, say, the finance minister will go back to the Parliament to go and call back that Fiscal Responsibility Act. The Army call is from Wally Goka appointed. I don't think that they were active. throughout the fiscal responsibility regime. No, it to me, I'm saying the time with the Ananka was a long time because it will bring a relief. Let me tell you one thing. Hannah acquires you change economic manager, DPNC. But if people investors really understand the economic dynamics, is there a very say local investors, economic dynamics, Nasia, a finance minister, and as a Bank of Ghana governor resign here, a Gauzi home here. There will come on a wampa, a very say, former governor of Bank of Ghana, resign here. Yeah, because at that time, people don't really understand the dynamics of some of these economic managers and their impact that they make on the economy in terms of their decisions. It to me, I'm saying for now, no crown, I'm saying a strong performance, which giving the directions, majority, 8.9. Yeah, or no any party of film crowd. 80 of them were parliament on Kodia. And to me, the president must act on it positively because cannot see I mean, the president, finance minister, is performing, so he should go. Performance is relative, but if it turns up that majority sees the finance minister not to be performing, and it's only the president that sees the finance minister to be performing, it tells you that most Ghanaians are not seeing him to be performing. That means that he should go. And your president, Jinkwane Bones, are performing. And to me, I'm saying this is the time. I think that the posture or their managing economy in all this world. I foresee that in your IMF program, to me, a year debt restructuring, no free space, or better publishing unnecessary bill.
I see.
That's how I see it, because at a point in time, we're going to have a free space, a fiscal space to maybe borrow, because the debt restructuring, I mean, to accommodate IMF program. IMF still pushing a kaka, and your buffer be up to one more. It will have that free space to borrow again. And to me, I think that time, and we need a minister who can give us that conservative attitude now, even to manage the economy, without necessarily spending so much.
Now, Prof, Charles Dubois, so a factor, no. How does it play out?
I think for his case, it has to do with a conflict of interest that he's been accused of. It's been alleged that he has this Gold Coast company, whatever. And they are part of the facilitations when it comes to our borrowing, and it serves as a conflict of interest. And to me, the majority caucus, they've come to buy into it, and they've come to understand that yes, it may be true. I don't know. I know affecting us here, but in all cases, the conflict of interest, it enhances the ability to borrow, and it turns out to be that your appetite for borrowing goes up. Because we interest woman, at least every amount you get a portion of it. As a 1% to quite a scam, because I borrow by the dozen. It to me, I'm saying, I catch up with him. He has to go with his boss.
Mamina Professor Lord Mensah say, your associate professor or University of Ghana, Legon, Anna, or no so Echra Nadrin Ewo, Ken Ofori Atta hono.